guys, it's been a while since I've been back on this channel, but I wanted to show you something I've been working on recently, and that is my reading journal. I started this at the beginning of September because I wanted to finally have a place to log a lot of my reading stuff and a lot of my bookish things. I have a lot of different kinds of reading trackers. I use Goodreads, I have a spreadsheet on my laptop, I use Bookly, I have my blog, I have my Bookstagram, I have this when I actually remember to use it. And now I wanted to add another thing because I think it's a lot of fun. And I looked up a lot of other videos. I was actually inspired by some Bookstagram pictures that I saw. Some other Bookstagrammers had really, really beautiful journals, and I've been wanting to start one for a long time. And I finally got the kick in the butt to do it, so I wanted to show you guys what I've been working on and what I have so far. It's definitely not the most polished and it's not the nicest, but I really enjoy it. I think it works really well for me and I really like the spreads I've created. So I'm going to take you into my bullet journal and show you how I'm tracking my reading and what I'm doing on a month-to-month basis and what I'm going to do on an annual basis, and if there are things I might want to change up once 2021 begins. So this is my bullet journal. I got it off Amazon. I don't want to get a super expensive one, so this was about, I want to say $8 or $9. I will link it in the description down below. It's not a Leuchtturm. My regular bullet journal is a Leuchtturm, but I really like it. I think it's really pretty. I like the colors. There was like a weird thing here, so I just covered it up with a sticker that I got off Redbubble, and it comes with a band and everything. It also doesn't have as many pages as a Leuchtturm, but I really like it. I think it suits my purposes, and I wanted something that was different so I wouldn't get my two bullet journals confused. So for my supplies, I have these regular Staedtler pigment liners that I use for my regular bullet journal. I use these to write and to make lines and stuff. I really like them. I use the 0.1 for writing, and I use the 0.3 for making boxes or drawing or making dots, anything that I need a thicker pen for. I also have my black Tombow, which I use for a lot of different kinds of shadowing, and as you can see later, I use this for numbering as well. I use this reading journal as an excuse to finally get the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pens, the metallic ones. I really like the copper, the silver, and the gold. They show up really nicely. There's not too much shimmer, and I really like them. And I will also link these in the description down below if you want to buy them. And lastly, I have a gold gel pen and a silver gel pen. I use this for numbering and for star ratings. So let's get into the journal and I will show you what I have. So we open to a quote, and this is the same quote that I have on my blog. I really like it and I think it's very representative of being a reader. So I just wrote it out. I drew a little book here. It's a little off-center, but I don't mind it as much. And then I used the gold to do a little bit of shadowing here and added some washi tape as my title page. And then I have my TBR spreads. This is my physical TBR of everything I have on my shelves that I need to read, and this is my audiobook TBR. I really like how this turned out, especially the audiobook one. I have a little bit of copper drop shadow here, and I think that really makes it pop. Also, it reminds me a little bit of the listening page that you get to when you're on Audible, so I really like that. I have 20 books here, and I think I have 64 books on this side. So I'm hoping to make a dent in this. Once I read a book, I get to color it in. I haven't decided exactly what colors I'm going to use yet, but when I actually get to knocking books off my TBR here, I will be doing that. And then we have my reading pixels. I saw this online and I really liked how it looked. So you do a color for like a certain amount of pages. For example, for me, gray is 0 to 25 pages read, yellow is 25 to 50 pages read, light blue is 50 to 75 pages read, and so on and so forth. So for every day that I finish a book, I get to make a dot, and that's where my Staedtler 0.3 pen comes in really handy. And then I just color this in, and by the end of the year, I should have a really nice array of colors. Obviously, because I started this in September, I only have 4 months here, but that made it really easy to put my Goodreads challenge in here, which I don't know if you can really see the numbers. I kind of regret using silver because it shows up, but it doesn't show up as much as I thought it would, so I might use copper the next time. But my Goodreads challenge was originally 12 and I upped it to 30, and as you can tell, I've already read 28 and I only have 2 more spaces. So once that's filled in, I'm not going to make any more boxes. I'm just going to leave it and write down a little thing of when I completed my challenge. And then here I have all the books I've read this year. This is my 2020 Read Shelf, and my roommate did this, so I actually really liked it, and that's where I stole the idea from, where she colored in the books based on what month she read it in. So I've read January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, and then September reads are already here. And once I'm done with the month's reads, I will color all of that in, and I fill in each book as I read them. I hope I have enough space for all the books I'm gonna read, because I'm kind of on like a roll right now, and I don't know how much space I'm actually, or how many books I'm gonna be able to fit into the space here. And then I have my 10 before year-end books, which came out of a blog post that I did, I think at the beginning of July, of 10 books that I want to read before the end of the year. So I already have one of these marked off, and Anne of Green Gables is on my TBR for this month, and This Invisible Life of Addie LaRue is coming out. I have 3 pre-order copies. It's a little excessive, but I'm really excited for this book. Everything else I hope to be able to fit in before the year ends. I kind of regret putting Empire of Storms and The Goldfinch on because they're both really big books, but we'll see. And then I have my 2020 reads. So I wrote down the title and the author as well as my star ratings. My stars suck, but they work, so I'm not super mad about it. And this is where I used my black Tombow. I just colored in a little black blob, and then I alternated gold and silver for the numbers. And so I have this first page is all filled out. This page is halfway done, and I will most likely go on to this page, so I'm leaving it blank for now. And as you can see, I messed up a little bit here because I drew the stars here and they're not supposed to go there. So we'll see how easy it is to write over that when I get to it. But I have all my stars prepped for the next like 7 or 8 books that I'm gonna read. And then I have my library books. This is a really nice way for me to track what I have taken out, what the titles are, and when they're due back. As you can see, I have books that are due back this Friday, so I'm trying to finish reading Soul Stealer, which I started today, and Warbringer before Friday comes, so I can return everything all at once without having to extend it. And then I have my September TBR. This is what I hope to achieve. Today's the 14th, and I've already finished 3 books, and I'm on Soul Stealer, so I'm hoping this is 7 books. The most I've read in a month so far this year is 7 books, but I think I can do more than that, so I color in each book as best I can according to the color of the book cover. Obviously that isn't going to work for every book, but I like how this is, and I like using the gold just to make TBR stand out. And I have a little bit of a silver drop shadow here. I don't know if you can exactly tell, but I really like how that looks in person. And then I have my reading tracker for each day, so I write down the number of minutes I read for, and it's 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, 105, and 120, so about 2 hours. Some days I exceed that. I actually read for over 3 hours yesterday because I finished a whole book, and I get to color in every day that I read according to roughly how much time I spent reading that day. And I like this because it shows me that I've done even a little bit of reading. Like here, I think I read for 2 or 3 minutes, but I still did a little bit of reading, and I'm really proud of myself for having read pretty much every single day this month so far, because that hasn't happened in a really long time. This page I'm going to fill out at the end of the month. I'm going to add up my total time spent reading, total number of pages read, and the total number of books read. I want to track a few more stats, but I'm not exactly sure how I want to track that or what I would like to track, so sorry if you could hear that ambulance. There's actually a lot that go by the apartment where I live. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas of things that I can track or things that you would like to see as stats, I would be more than happy to put that down. I'm just brought out these 3 things for now because they're the things I know I would like to see on a month-to-month basis. And then I have my September challenges, and these are my Bookstagram challenges. I am doing 2 this month. That's the hashtag Stars in the Dark and the hashtag Wandering Mystical. So for each day that I do something, I color it off with gray so that I know I've done it. And I have all my prompts listed out, which I really like because I don't always know what photo I'm going to use. So if I have a photo that works with a prompt, I'll use the hashtag and I'll make sure to write down what exactly the prompt is. Otherwise, I just kind of leave it. And then I used a little bit of bird washi tape down here because it fit and I had space here and didn't know what to do with it. So bird washi tape it was. And this is something new that I'm trying. I've never written down my thoughts on books before as I was reading, but I really like this because I find that it helps me when I go into the reviews. Obviously you can tell that I'm kind of playing around with how I want to do this. I have the title up top here, and then I have the date red, and then I have my notes. I started out doing like the time in which I made my notes, but then that didn't really continue, and I don't think it really matters, honestly. And then here I messed around with the rating, putting the rating here, but I can't really see the word rating against the black background with the copper, so I changed that for later. I really like having the star rating here though, even though I do have it also. Even though I do also have it here, I like being able to reference this in case I gave it a rating and I'm not entirely sure what I gave it, because Goodreads obviously doesn't do half stars, but I can do half stars here and then transfer it to here, because this I mark down once I'm done reading. And then I have more reviews here, and as you can see here, I changed up how I did it. I gave rating its own line and then my notes, and that's what I'm doing for Soul Stealer as well, because I really like how that worked out. But yeah, I really like being able to see what I think of these books and kind of reflect on it before I write my review. Sometimes it's also nice to have something written down here because I might not exactly remember it from my review, so this helps me to remember it, and it shows me what I was thinking as I was reading, which sometimes is funny and sometimes I'm just like, wow, how did you think of that when it was so clearly something else? But that is all that I have. Oh, actually I have a page in the back. This bullet journal came with some stickers, and it also came with a ruler. I also have some Polaroids in here of me and my family, which I really like. Now I'm actually covering this part because it's my library card number, and not that that's sensitive information, but like I kind of don't want to put it out there. This is my collection of Super Chips, which I use for the color in here, and then I have my gold and silver gel pens, and you can't tell, but there's a white gel pen right here, and then my Pentel metallic markers. Obviously I did not space these out well enough, but you know, I have an idea of what all the colors look like on this page, and I like being able to see that. So all that being said and done, this is my reading journal, and I really like it. I think it turned out really nicely, and I'm really happy with what it looks like. It's a lot more artistic than my personal bullet journal, but that's also because I like being able to see more color and more designs in this, whereas my personal bullet journal is very minimalistic and very straightforward, which is kind of what I need when I need to be using it on the go and while I'm busy. So yeah, that is my reading journal. That is all I have for this video. Let me know if you enjoyed seeing my reading journal, if there are any spreads you liked, if there are any things you think I should try, and if you would do this on your own. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!